The sound of roaring engines echoed through the quiet neighborhood, shaking the ground beneath every doorstep. Curtains parted, and neighbors peeked out in fear and awe as dozens of leather-clad bikers lined the narrow street. In the middle of it all stood a little girl barefoot, her small hands clutching a piece of bread. One of the bikers, massive, tattooed, and fierce-looking, dismounted his Harley and walked toward her slowly. He bent down to her level, his voice soft but full of power. "Remember me, kid? You asked me for spare change this morning." A tears welled in her eyes as she nodded. "Well," he said, removing his helmet and smiling, "we're here to return the favor." The day had started like every other for Lily, a 7-year-old girl with tangled brown hair and eyes that once sparkled but now looked tired from hunger. Her clothes were worn thin, her shoes barely held together. Her mother, Sarah, worked double shifts at the diner since Lily's father passed away 2 years ago in a car accident. Bills piled up. The lights had been cut off 2 nights ago, and there wasn't much left to eat. That morning, Sarah had left early again, whispering, "I'll try to bring dinner tonight, sweetheart." But Lily's stomach growled louder than her hope, so she did something she never imagined she would. She walked to the gas station at the edge of town, hoping someone might spare $1 for food. She stood near the door timidly, holding an old cup, watching people pass by. Most ignored her. Some looked at her with pity, others with disgust. But then the growl of a motorcycle stopped her breath. A tall, broad-shouldered man stepped off a black Harley. His beard was rough, his jacket patched with the words "Steel Serpents MC." Tattoos ran up his arms like flames. He looked terrifying, but when his eyes met hers, something softened. Lily swallowed her fear and whispered, "Excuse me, sir, do you have any spare change? I'm just really hungry." The biker looked down at her. For a moment, he didn't speak, then he reached into his pocket, pulled out a few crumpled bills, and handed them to her. "Here, kid, get yourself something to eat." "Thank you," she whispered. He paused, then added, "Where's your mom or dad?" "Mom's at work. Dad's in heaven," she said quietly. The biker blinked, visibly moved. He nodded, ruffled her hair gently, and got back on his bike. As he rode away, Lily ran into the nearby store and bought a small loaf of bread and a banana. But she didn't know that the man she had just spoken to, Rex, president of the Steel Serpents, hadn't stopped thinking about her since. Hours passed. The sky dimmed into sunset. Lily sat on the porch of her small, rundown house, eating the last piece of bread. Her mother still hadn't returned. The silence was heavy. Then, from far away, she heard a deep rumble, faint at first, then louder, and louder still. The windows trembled. Dogs barked. People came out to see what was happening. Down the street came a line of motorcycles, 10, 20, 30, each one gleaming under the fading light. The same symbol, Steel Serpents, was painted across every jacket. Lily's eyes widened as the first bike stopped in front of her yard. It was Rex. He took off his helmet, that same gentle look in his eyes. "Hey there, kid," he said softly. "Mind if we stop by?" She nodded, frozen in disbelief. Rex waved his hand, and within minutes the bikers were unloading boxes, food, clothes, blankets, even toys. One of them began fixing the broken fence, another carried in a heater. "What are you doing?" Lily finally asked, her voice trembling. Rex smiled. "You asked for spare change today, but we figured you needed more than that." When Sarah came home an hour later, exhausted from work, she froze at the sight. Bikers all around her yard, laughter filling the air, her daughter smiling brighter than she had in months. Rex walked up to her respectfully. "Ma'am, your little girl's got more courage than most grown men I know. We just wanted to make sure you two were taken care of." The tears streamed down Sarah's face. I don't know what to say." Rex shook his head. "Don't say anything. Just promise me one thing. Don't ever think you're alone. Family doesn't always mean blood." The bikers stayed until dark, helping fix things around the house. Before they left, Rex handed Sarah an envelope. It was full of money the club had raised that day. As they revved up their engines and prepared to ride away, Lily ran after them and shouted, "Thank you!" Rex turned, smiled, and said, "You reminded us all what real kindness looks like." The sound of engines faded into the night, but in that small house, warmth returned, for the first time in a long time. Sometimes it takes the roughest hearts to show the gentlest kind of love, and sometimes a simple act of asking becomes the spark that changes everything.